Hi there folks, I'm Alex from Ukes with Alex and the Southern Ukulele Store, and this is my first ukulele review for my own channel. It's a ukulele that we don't yet stock at the Southern Ukulele Store, but something that I had been eyeing up for a couple of weeks and months since my friend Matt Warnes over at World of Ukes first advertised them, and yeah, I decided to buy a Millar ukulele. Now, should we learn a little bit about Millar? I think we should. This particular model is the SP-240W. It has a spruce top with some really gorgeous acacia. A lot of glare there today, sorry about that. Some really gorgeous acacia back and sides, really nicely figured. One of the nicest instruments for around £500 that I've ever seen. And it really piqued my interest because for the last few years I've played just really tenors, a guitarlele and the odd baritone, but my journey with the ukulele started with concerts. I always found myself gravitating towards concerts back when I first started, and I've had several really nice ones over the years, mainly Hawaiian brands, Millar, Aloha, kanile'a. Like, I'm no stranger to concert ukuleles, but about 3 years ago, when I started writing and performing more with the ukulele, I switched over to the tenor size, and it's been a really long time since I'd found a concert ukulele that caught my eye. And I've actually been debating over two for the last month, and it was time for me to get one because I wanted one for the channel. And I spoke to Matt up at World of Ukes and I said, look, I'm really debating about this and this, and Southern Ukulele Store, we're about to stock Millar in the coming weeks and months, and yeah, just there's nothing but love between us and Matt up at World of Ukes. Really good friends. We talk to each other most days and help each other out every now and again if he runs out of my side pickups, or we run out of strings. There's a nice good partnership and friendship there. So he said, well, I'm going to send you this Millar down just so you can confirm that they are what you are looking for. So he sent me this Millar. It has a solid spruce top. It's a two-piece spruce top, slightly darker on one side than the other. But the thing that caught me is rope binding, because anybody that's watched the hundreds of comparison videos I've done for the Southern Ukulele Store knows that I always say I love rope binding, and I mean it. This ukulele to me looks like a Acacia HF 2DI2I spruce custom high-end Acacia, and that's the best compliment I can pay an instrument at £500. So for those of you that are asking me what kind of instruments I normally look for, I think there is among my customers there's a slight belief that I'm probably a bit of a snob and I only look at high-end instruments, and there's probably an element of truth to that. I find myself, I gravitate towards the bigger brands because I look at these things all day, so it takes something really special to excite me. But there have been instruments over the years that I've really liked for different reasons and at completely different price points. For example, the Eastman ukuleles, the solid mahogany nitrocellulose finished Eastman ukuleles have always been something that I've really liked, and the only thing that put me off buying one was that we had, I think, maybe 16 in a year, and we had a small run where they arrived damaged, and we fed that back to Eastman, and they were really not very receptive of our complaints and our criticism, so kind of put me off the brand a bit. I won't lie. And then the other brand that I've always really liked is Big Island. Now I've got a Big Island ukulele today that I've spent the last few weeks deciding if I was going to buy. So this ukulele is the CLEI BL. It's the not so blue Hawaiian Mango ukulele. Now this retailed around the £750 mark. It's actually in the discount and clearance section on Southern Ukulele Store because it's a bit confusing, I think, being advertised as blue when it's so distinctly green. In fact, opening the case now this morning after a weekend away, having made my decision on which uke to go for, I look at this again and it's still a really hard decision. I love the koa binding. I love how I don't really understand why I love it. I said to my fantastic followers on Patreon, I said to them, it's a bit like Uma Thurman or coffee ice cream. I like it, and I don't really know why. So this is a mahogany neck, but yeah, Big Island, another brand under £1,000 that for me give you so much more for your money than many of the other options out there. Kanile'a OPOs, another one, but maybe this is a subject for another video. Getting on to the ukuleles today that I want to talk about, which is the Millar. This Millar to me just sounds and feels fantastic, so I'm going to give it a play and we'll talk about it a bit more. I love it already. So this ukulele, just for those wondering why I chose it, I think a concert ukulele is best strummed, and this ukulele has so much attack, but a really impressive sustain for a concert ukulele. That sound, that single note sound is big, it's bold, it's clean, and yeah, it's very distinctly not a tenor ukulele. So for me, that was important. But when you strum it, it doesn't over compress. Spruce tops are fantastic for that. I just think that these Millar ukuleles are going to give brands like Pono a run for their money. Certainly now that we don't do Eastman anymore, or some of the other brands that are harder to stock aren't in stock as regularly, things like the kanile'a OPOs that people get really excited about. Being able to offer them a viable alternative has been really important to us, and I just think it has the coolest headstock. That headstock's just cool. The tuners are cool. It's a bone nut and saddle. It's a 35mm nut whip, so similar, and the neck to me feels very similar to Pono's, but the body feels very similar to Big Island ukuleles. They are made in Taiwan, which is quite unique for the ukuleles at this price. I'm trying to think of Taiwanese ukuleles we've had over the years, and it's completely over my head. So perhaps where it's made as well, it feels unique and it looks unique, and I think it's because it's made far away from other large built commercial instruments. So I've rambled a lot today, I'm really sorry, but I wanted to get my real thoughts on this instrument out there. So this is the Millar SP-240W. I'm going to play it a bit more for you now, folks, but just consider me impressed by these and looking forward to stocking more of them in the future. And yeah, if you're in the market for a new ukulele, then it's definitely going to be worth putting these on your list and looking at the really wide range of models available in the coming months. Let's give it a play.